an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want a ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
We got the G's in the building, folks. We got the legend Herman Moore up in this mug, and you got my favorite little homie Chrisse Z in the building to break all things Detroit Lions down. Training camp, that's what we're getting into, and we got Rad the man. Look at his glasses. This guy is cool as can be. Way cooler than me. Then you got Dose, baby. Dun, 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 dun. We got a great show for you guys. Great show. Herm, what's going on?
Hey, you know what it is. It's off and popping. It's all good. Sitting here, chilling. I didn't have to walk far to come out here and hang out. So there you go.
Hey, not walking far is really good. Really, really
good. I'm OG, man. I'm old school. I don't need to be walking a long way.
What if you get these contracts that's coming now to wide receivers? Would you walk a little bit faster?
I mean, I'll walk to the UP. from Troy, Michigan, down just north of the city, all the way up to the UP for 50 mil.
50, Come on. I'd do that too, folks. Yeah, I'd do that too, but you want to know what? Y'all need to get those likes up. Right now we got 47 to build with 17 likes. Let's walk those likes up past the UP. Chrisse, how are you doing? How is life?
I'm doing great. My daughter, Abby, she likes to go by Kiyomi. She is watching me right now. She texted me and said, I'm watching, you're a homie. So, Ooh. Hey, I think that's good that she said that.
Hey, that's facts. It's very facts that she said that. You got to get that name going. Hashtag homie right now in the comment section. Blow it up. Hashtag little homie. Let's get this thing going. Training camp Rad. What are you looking forward to in training camp? About a month away, you know, the rooks come in, then after that the vets. What is something you're looking forward to, my man?
I am looking for the linebackers. I want to see how they're about to compete. I think Malcolm Rodriguez, they saying he's ahead of schedule. I want to see if he can push for a starting job. I don't know, he may either going to take Chris Board or Double A spot, somebody's. I want to see if Malcolm Rodriguez can really push and inject himself into that starting lineup. So that linebacker battle, because it's up in the air.
Linebacker battle's up in the air. Then we got DoseOfDion. Everyone's going to the Super Bowl. Everyone should make the roster right now. You know, we're going to have it expanded to a 95-man roster. You know, everyone's the best.
Yes, sir.
What are you looking forward to besides making everybody on the team smile when they see you?
You know, this is the time for that. It's the off season. That's all we can do. That's all we can do is be pumped and be crazy optimistic. Here's what I'm looking forward to, though. Aside, you know, everything. But here's what I'm looking forward to. We talk about the roster. I'm definitely looking at the tackle position, and I want to see how expanded Obina Eze's role is when we get into this. Do they flip him around? He's playing right tackle. He's playing left tackle. Does he work his way into those backup reps? I'm curious to see how that works out and what position they're putting him at. And add on to Rad's point, we're talking linebacker. Derek Barnes. I feel like in a weird way, Derek Barnes kind of gets overlooked. I mean, we got Malcolm Rodriguez. We're all excited for him. Alex Anzalone's come back as a starter. A whole bunch of new additions. Jared Davis. But you have that guy, Derek Barnes. And there's a really good shot he comes in and probably starts again this season. And we talk about the scheme changes. You want to see what that looks like for the entire defense, the front lines, the Levi's getting his opportunities. But how about the linebackers and Derek Barnes and what that could bring out of him? I thought he looked a lot faster as the season went on. But, man, Derek Barnes, they were hyped when they got him. They said immediately, hey, he's our Mike. That's what he is for us. I don't care what he did. That's what he is. So I'm excited to see that growth.
I'm excited to see what Herman's got to say. Training camp, there's wide receivers out there, good battle. The legend himself. I know he's got his eye on what this offense needs to do this year. What do you got?
Come on, Swami. I should have known you pick my brain right there. So listen, I'm going to be looking at this team to the receivers. That's a gimme, right? We've heard about all of the different moves that were made. We understand that they're supposed to have all this new arsenal and firepower and all those things, which I truly believe that they have. Seeing how that's going to be combined with the running game, combine that with your receivers, combine that with your tight ends, then all of a sudden you start looking at this offensive line that's supposed to be top 3, top 5 in the NFL, and now you got Jared Goff, who's supposed to have this beaming and glowing confidence. How will this team perform? You know what it comes down to? Play calling. You think I was going to go and start getting deep into that with the players? No, it's like now that you have all these pieces, how do you call the plays? Who do you give the ball to? How do you keep everyone not only focused, but also how do you spread the wealth? Because there are a lot of players here that are going to want the football. You're going to want your second-year player in St. Brown. He's going to want to continue to build on that 90-catch season. You're going to see Raymond. He's going to want to get his playing time. Once you start to get a guy they picked in the first round who's going to miss a few games early, how do you bring him back into the fold? And if he's not ready, who's going to take his spot, or does he just kick somebody out that's been playing 6, 7, 8 games prior to him coming there? And then we haven't even gotten to the backfield, right? We haven't even talked about T.J. Hockenson at this point. But I'm just going to be interested to see how the play call is going to go, and will Dan Campbell insert himself and be the guy that's making all those calls?
Do you think he is?
There it is. So,
what's your gut feeling on this?
you know what? I think this is going to be a team that's going to definitely look to run the football. I think they will be a control style team early. I think they're going to want to smash people in the mouth. I think they're going to want to show their might at the offensive line. And then they're going to say, you couldn't even stop that. Now we're going to throw a little bit more at you right here. And that's going to build confidence in the receiving unit. Not that they're going to need it, but I don't think they're quite where they think they are. They're going to need to make sure they got a plan A and a plan B. I think the running game, to me, is one that's going to solidify whether or not this offense is going to be a contingent team. They're going to be a team that you got to contend with. It's got to come through the running game being solidified.
You love Swift, too. You love Swift. He's got the potential. He really does. Just got to stay healthy.
Stop calling that man potential, MicroMike. Come on, man. The man, listen.
I love Swift.
He
man.
may be injured. Listen, he may get injured.
Yeah.
My homie. He may get injured. But listen, the man plays hard, man. I'm just a sucker, man, for
He
people
really
that
loves
just
him.
play hard, that bring it. Even if it means he's going to get broken up, busted up every once in a while.
He plays very hard, but the best ability is availability. He got to be available for us. And I think he can be a
Ouch. Come on, Rad.
Did you practice that in the mirror?
Hey, Rad, you know what? That was pretty sweet right there. That was a nice little transition.
Did you practice that in the mirror?
I'm going to give you that one.
I didn't practice that. I mean, that's just the best ability.
Okay,
right.
Right.
And I'm a huge Swift fan. I think he can be a 1,000-yard rusher. I just don't know if he has the capability to take on 25 carries a game. I don't know if
I don't want him to carry. I don't want him carrying it 25 times. Give you a good 10, 15, and give me a couple catches and key plays out of the backfield to keep the ball moving. Get me my first downs because it was 3rd and 9 or whatever it was, and they didn't see him coming. He breaks that tackle, knocks that first guy down because he can't be brought down that way. I'll take it.
I dig it.
Got Williams.
I'm a huge Swift fan.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Swift fan.
Man, I'm a huge
I don't want number 16 to get him injured. I don't want the 16th play to get him injured. So give me that 15.
Hey, if that's what it takes, I'm with you. I don't want to get injured either. This guy's he's a beast. He really is.
He is, man.
It's like the Javid Best thing. Javid Best was so awesome. I love Javid Best. Man, when he's on the field, dynamic. Then he goes down with the concussion. It's like, oh. I think Swift can be like that. Just if he stays healthy, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. Just like little homie sees here knowledge of the game. Folks, if you don't know, she played for the Lions organization for played inside the organization, part of the organization, social, doing interviews for 10 years. She has a different perspective about training camp.
Yes, años.
What do you share experience about training camp? Some of the funny stuff. I like hearing that. And what do you expect Dan Campbell to do this training camp? Because yours is completely different from everybody else.
Yeah, so here's the thing. This is why I'm going. My most exciting thing to look forward to in training camp is seeing fans like Dose get excited about it and watch him be at practice and get excited. That's what I'm looking forward to, because I know that really we're not going to know anything about anything unless we're able to sit down with the coaches and tell them what they're seeing and tell them what they think of the players. So to me, it's kind of just like, yeah, that's cool. We'll hear the interviews, we'll hear all the stuff, but we won't really know until week 1. So I'm looking forward to seeing the fans get excited. I'm also, though, I will say, I do want to see the D-line. I am interested to see the pass rushers and see what they have to do.
Stopping the run.
What?
I feel that.
See, me in training camp was like, I'm gonna go like it's where I'm sitting at lunch. See, that was my. I'm like, ooh,
Hey,
I'll go sit with this one.
You the one to prep me. So
I did prep you.
Listen, I'm not. Listen, if you're looking at D-line, I'm looking at O-line, I'm looking at the offense. We got it balanced.
Because I'm looking at what can I look at that actually is going to give me an idea of, technique and ability. And I don't want to see Aiden Hutchinson, see what he's got going on.
Yeah.
Stop smiling at me like that, like I'm talking like stupid.
No, I want to see what Aiden Hutchinson's going to do against Penn and Taylor Decker. Once them pads.
Penn, you and your Penn.
Give me some of that pasta too.
I want to see what he's going to do. Like, let's see if you're beating those offensive tackles, I think you're going to have a successful career in the NFL. Like, I
am excited to see Dose and
OTAs and things.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Dose and Banks at camp.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Chris, I feel like we learn everything from training camp. We know everything when we know. Yeah, that's
I was about to say.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I guess you learning as much from training camp as I get from preseason games.
Oh, hey, wait, do you get more from training camp or preseason? I feel like preseason, right?
But no, man, I don't get anything from either.
They cut a guy based on.
Thank you.
Let's talk about that. What is the
Thank
difference
you.
between pajama warriors, like in the mini camp and training camp, but for some reason the players don't work out on the field when game time hits? Herm knows it. I gotta hear this.
I mean, training camp is scripted. You're getting through installations. You're getting through playbook pieces. You're getting scenarios, and you're looking at film from last year. You're doing some cleanup. You're trying to figure out personnel. It's what everyone else is doing, but the advantage comes into play when you have enough returning people executing on the same things that made you successful the year before. When you have to insert new people into a new system, and everybody's trying to learn now, and it's just you got all these different pieces starting over. You got pieces that's kind of got to work together. When I look at teams, I look at the ones that are my front runners, and the ones I look at that are going to be the most successful early are those that are returning the most people who are familiar with the system. And even if they didn't have the best record, you can bring all the players you want together, right? Chicago goes out, they get a boatload of players, they get Khalil Mack, they get all these others, and all of a sudden they think that's going to fix it all. Yeah, you have some flashes, you have some things that do well, but ultimately, man, it's the teams that play together. And that's why the consistency of the teams that you saw that keep winning, they win because it's nothing. Like they're coming into camp, they don't have to exhaust themselves in training camp. They don't have to go through the emotional trauma that you get in training camp. All they have to do is go out, make sure they stay healthy, make sure they're mentally tough and ready to go, make sure they're getting their lifting in. It's almost like they're chilling, man. They're just getting it in, and then all of a sudden they get ready to go play. And then they let you go exhaust yourself, figure out your roster doing preseason, and they're chilling. You see which teams they are. You go, man, why isn't that team doing preseason playing their players? They don't have to. For what? Mm-hmm. I mean, we got to a point, how often did you see some of our starters who have been there for years and years and years? They don't even play in the preseason. We used to go in and play a series and we're out. That was back in the day. Now they do that now, but it's like, yeah, we go in, maybe we're going to do all passes or maybe we're going to do all runs. We're just trying to get some looks and things that we want to see how it works in a live environment. But it meant nothing. It meant absolutely nothing other than who could be the healthiest coming out of the preseason. But when your team has got to put all these pieces together, yeah, preseason becomes important, but it's still jaded because you're not playing against the teams the same way. Everybody can try and make it what they want, and I'm not trying to knock it, right? But I'm telling you, you're not going through the motions unless you're trying to make the team, and then the others are just trying to really mentally make sure they execute whatever that limited number of plays are, and that you don't screw it up.
Folks,
So,
I don't know
there
if
you
you've
go.
seen this in the comments section, but Dr. Detroit just became a member of Lions Nation Unite.
Whoa.
Epic member. And you can become a member too. You go to the join button on Lions Nation Unite, you click it, and you can become a member, and you get all special perks, some cool stuff for each each one they have there. And Dr. Detroit, he's sporting right now the 84 jersey, pounding on it right now with a crown. Love
Emoji,
it.
yeah.
Epic.
PK emojis.
Yeah, PK, man. I always gotta give a shout out, man, to our chief creative officer, man, PK, man. He all the graphics, everything you see, boom, man. In his sleep.
This.
Graphics.
Eat, sleep,
PK.
graphics, repeat. Absolute
He does.
beast mode.
He's down there doing something right now, man. He taking the alphabets, the cereal with the thing. He's making stuff with that, man. Making shirts inside the cereal.
That's what it's all about. That's how you get great.
So what do you guys think? I'm curious. I'm always curious, Mike. Mike, let me ask you guys this. Dose and Rad, little homie.
Thank you for including me.
Now I'm going to include you. So what do you, when we go to games, we look at preseason, I'm always thinking everyone goes for a certain reason. I go for a much different reason than I guarantee you everybody that's sitting here.
I went because it was my job.
You went because of your job. Why do you guys go? Tell me what you go to preseason for. What?
I don't go to the games.
I don't go.
Go preseason?
I'm watching. I don't go to preseason.
Whether you go to it or you watch. Let me rephrase it. Whether you go to the game physically or whether you're watching it at home. What's the goal?
Rad, you go ahead.
Not entertainment.
My goal is to watch a certain position group just to see if they're improving. Like, I would be honed in on a couple linebackers or a couple defensive linemen and see if they're winning their battles on a consistent basis. And also see who they're going up against. Is it first stringers, second stringers? Like, anybody can shine. If you're a first string player and you're going against a third stringer, you should be shining. So I hone in on certain players to see if they're winning their matchups. That's what I look for.
All right. Now hold on. Let me jump in real quick, and I'm gonna ask Rad something. And then I'll if I can just jump in. I'm not gonna hijack it here, but let me just throw this in.
I think you're allowed to hijack.
All right,
it. It's your channel.
Here's
the thing. So Rad, you go there, right? You're looking at the position battles. That's true. A lot of people are there. You're not alone. They're looking for the individual battles. They're looking at the unit battles. They're trying to see stars versus certain second string, third string, whatever, right? But how do you really figure that out, right? You can't judge tempo. You can't judge really whether they're right or wrong, and we expect them to be making mistakes. To be honest with you, and then we don't really understand if that's something they're just trying out or if it's just a new scheme the coaches want to see, because it's not about winning or losing battles sometimes as much as it's getting on film. You know what I mean? So that's why I go. True. At some point, I'm thinking training camp. I'm not training camp, but the preseason.
Preseason.
I almost think you get more out of just the when you see the teams play against each other, and then you see other teams come in and compete against them in practice. Egos get in the way then. I like watching that battle a lot more than I like watching preseason because it's there. The fans have isolated you. Rad has isolated the linebackers. He's saying this guy go against this other team, and nobody wants to be the one on camera showing they got handed to them during practice.
Right, 100%.
That's what I've seen evolve over time. I don't know.
No,
it's like you get excited, and it's like,
but it's scripted. And you're saying get it on film. I also just looking to make sure plays are executed properly and crap like that. They usually script the first however many plays, no matter what they're seeing.
I don't buy into preseason at all. Just because I believe the year we lost every game, we went undefeated in preseason. So you know
why?
I don't buy.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I can
preseason. Like I
get what you're saying.
It really,
it's not so much I'm even saying buying in. Right, I really cut you off, Brad. Right.
No, you're good. I don't get super excited when I see a preseason game if we win or lose. It's just I want to see certain position groups and see if they competing at a high level and winning those matchups. That lets me know, like, hey, if the offensive line is coming out here and they're controlling the line of scrimmage, like, okay, so they are looking so far they are looking like a top 3 offensive line. But if they are going out there giving up sacks and giving up penetration on run plays, it's like we need to get back to practicing things like that. That's what I want to see. I want to see if Aiden Hutchinson gonna come out here and be disruptive. I don't care if he's playing his assignment or not. I want you to whoop that offensive tackle.
All right.
We could do like games within the game, like which players are going to be the preseason Cinderella story, because there's always at least one, if not two.
I always laugh because there's always somebody in there. There's somebody that is looking at it as an exhibition game, and then there's somebody who is taking it really, really real and serious. Your starters in there sometimes, they're sitting there going, this dude is over. I mean, you're going way too hard, dude. It's just like, you need to calm down. But no, this is the one that's got to eat, right? This guy's got to get some work done. I'm telling you, when we play, you be like, and look, you come out and you talking to that guy like, look, man, don't be going low on my legs. Don't, you knew not to go low on a guy. You knew not to just, hold him on pass interference and, all this other crazy stuff. You had these rules. Now it's just like, man, you just don't know it. Like, you're taking this way too serious.
Got a super chat, a $10 super chat from Spirit of Detroit podcast. Is a Detroit Lions YouTuber, really good. He's actually overseas right now. Thank you for serving your country. He says, it's so refreshing hearing football people in the YouTube space. I didn't know much about Herm, but I love hearing a fresh new take on the Lions. Huge compliment.
Hey,
love it.
Appreciate that.
Killing it. Yeah, we appreciate it for doing it. And Dr. Detroit has a question for you, the new member. For you, Chrissy, I got to throw this out there. It says,
what?
It says, Lil Homie, would you describe the past culture of the team versus the current? How would you describe it? Well, she's not part of the current one, but.
Yeah, I'm not part of the current. What I would say is that it all changes and evolves based on your head coach. So, and it's interesting, if you watch head coach changes, it's almost like you always go from one pendulum all the way over to the other. So if you look back in Lions history, you'll see a player's coach, and then you'll see a discipline coach. And then you'll see a player's coach. And then you'll see a discipline coach. And it's almost like this idea of, okay, which way are we going to go? Because if this one's not working this time, oh, well, then the other one will work. And it's just the way it is. And if you look at it, it did go that way. The one way I think Jim Schwartz was kind of a middle of the ground when he was players and discipline. And then Coach Caldwell, I left right when he got hired. He was very well received by the players. They really liked him. So I liked every coach that we had when I was there. Again, I can't speak to after Coach Caldwell, but yeah, I mean, it was a fun environment. Players and coaches were great to be around. Team was passionate about, getting it done. I think to Herman's point, a lot of it is just when you're constantly recycling and you're constantly starting over again, that's where you get a lot of the problem, where you end up kind of behind other teams because you're not just sticking with one for an extended amount of time.
Yeah, definitely. You hear that a lot in the NFL. You want to have the cohesive unit, and Detroit predominantly has been a team that's always firing coaches. We've seen it for sure. So, Dose, man, what do you go to preseason for? Herm, he was asking everybody. Dose.
Well, hey, look, like I said, I ain't going to no preseason game. Forget that. First off, the tickets aren't even cheaper, okay? They're like the same price. Like, why would I go to that? But you know what I'm saying? It should be like $5.
Hey, I don't want anybody accuse me of ticket sales being down in preseason. I'm not saying you're going to get to go to preseason. Go to preseason.
I would say this, though. I said
the preseason ticket sales.
I can't, man. It's crazy. When we watch on the field, though, I say this, like, to what H-Man was saying, we always hear that it's more vanilla. So I think when you look at those players that are going to be a part of it, the Deckers, things like that. I remember last year, it felt like I think our first preseason game, our offensive line looked rough. It was like, it doesn't look very good, but that's not how the season turned out. But I feel like those certain players that we call roster bubble players. I look at Brashad Perriman, right? Because they didn't put Brashad Perriman in the game as like, oh, he's on the third string, so he might just make the team. They came in with like expectations when they first signed him. So when he first got into the preseason, he was out there with the top guys. Whether he was playing up to that or not in training camp, he was out there with the top guys, and he dropped a couple passes. I believe that got him cut. Versus Quintez Cephas, who they always say, he shines in, when he puts the pads on, and the Tom Kennedys, like those guys, he had a really good preseason. So I would say look at those players that we call the roster bubble players that maybe have those expectations coming in, and whether, they performed at that in training camp, then they're going to throw you into that spot that they already had the vision for when they brought you in. With that, I would also say look at the kicker battle. I mean, I feel like the kicker battle is the one position where it's like, oh, shoot, how is this going to play out? Because when they got Austin Seibert, the idea was, man, Austin Seibert's the guy. And then he misses some time, and then here comes Riley Patterson, and Riley Patterson does well. So If we're watching training camp, if there's one thing you can take away, how do they kick in training camp? I mean, that has to be something, right? Because in preseason, you're not getting many attempts. So they have to take a look at something, unless they've already have their mind made up.
Got to take a look at something. You got to take a look
man.
at something.
Kickers, huh?
Oh, hey.
The kicker battle, man. That's
Kicker battle, huh?
Kicker battle.
Hey, right.
The
You know?
kicker battle.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, make sure whenever we're watching, Dose, man, if we're ever chilling and we're ever invited, like in between, I'm not gonna make sure you never touch the remote control. You never get to select. If we're having watch parties, we don't give you the remote control. We don't let you do anything. Hands off, man. Kickers.
The kicker battle. I mean,
Kicker
they're important, Dose, but ain't nobody watching no kicker battle. Look, special teams is important, baby. But I'm not watching no kicking battle. Get out of here.
Hey, hold up. Wait a minute. Hey, hold up. I got to get back to the TV. I think they're getting ready to kick a field goal.
Like, did he make that? Like, no, look, bro.
Oh, wait a minute. It was a penalty. Hold up. It was a penalty. Hold on. I think they moved him back 5 yards. Hold up. This is going to be real good.
We need to be focused in on the kicker battle. Man, look here.
Oh, man.
Stop.
Dude, you're killing me. You're killing me, man.
They had to get something. They cut both of them last year, man. I mean, right? They had to be like, dang, these dudes are whack when they saw them in training camp. And they're like, okay. I mean, because where do you get that from? Who cuts both of their kickers coming into this? That doesn't happen. You had to see something.
Someone with two bad kickers.
I got it now. Hey, Dose, so you're doing next-gen stats on who runs fastest to pick up the tee after the kickoff.
Terrible.
Right? You got next. You sitting there going, that dude was clocked at 2.2 miles an hour.
I'm saying, what's the 40 time? If we're really going to dive into this, I need the flying 20. We need all of it. We need all of it. That's what it's about.
I'm gonna start watching. I'm gonna start watching the officials, man. When they're chasing down, running beside the players. I'm gonna see which officials are running the fastest.
What about the holder battle?
Holder?
The holder battle.
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
Laces out, Dose.
My man.
Hey, you looking at everything.
You're wild.
You got to do it. You got to.
I
feel like H-Man, you would be looking at that, right? He said he don't really, you're not a preseason guy. You ain't looking at the kicker battle? Come on, man.
No, I'm sitting there waiting for them to dial up $9.99. I need a $9.99 all go. I don't care what the coverage is.
What does that mean?
I want everybody. I want all takeoffs.
All go routes.
All go. $9.99 all
Count
go.
it up. Okay.
Why don't
First play of the game.
We got the speed to do it this year. Hey, we can do it.
Oh,
This is true.
You can do it
Reynolds.
How do you not get injured in preseason, Herman?
by telling them that you don't get injured because you tell them to throw you hitch routes, quick out routes, and maybe a couple slants here and there, and then you call it a day. A couple blocks, That's it.
I ain't playing today.
He said a couple out routes, couple hitches.
That's it.
Done.
6-yard out route, 3-step drops, maybe a curl route here or there, a little clear out route. Yeah. Stretch your legs a little bit.
And then what did you do? Then what was your? Then what were you
Hey,
doing?
then
on the
after that,
sideline?
you just go. You got to put your hat on, get the little Gatorade. You got to pull stuff out. You got a little candy and little treats and stuff in your socks, or you had the equipment guy bring you out a bag of popcorn or something, and you just sit there and you chill after that. That's it.
Popcorn ready.
Can we have a new addition to? Here's a suggestion, especially teams that they're good with their kicker battle. They know what they're about. Why don't we have other positions take the field goals in preseason games? You all remember when Sue kicked the field goal or the extra point? Why not do that? That's my question for you, H-Man. If it was a situation like, look, you got to make this extra point. This is a Super Bowl. You need this extra point. Our kicker's hurt. They point to you. Are you making the extra point? That's what I got to ask.
Yeah, I'm going in. And I'm just saying, I don't care if you don't want to do that. Just put me on the corner over there. We do a fade route. We just go and get 2 points, call it a day. Don't even play around with the extra point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would do that.
conversion. 2 point. We got it. Hey, we got another $10 super chat from Lions Rumble 81. And this, I love this subject. Thank you so much, Lions Rumble. By the way, it says at Little Home.
Oh, you're excited, Mike.
I've been. I'm excited. Are the ref buffers for Vegas? Do they determine games? What's it like behind the scenes? #Roaring Vegas. Thank you so much, Lions Rumble, for that. Let's talk about the referees.
Okay, so we've had this discussion. So I'll just say one thing, and then you guys can go. I'm not gonna have a theory. I'm just gonna say that sometimes you see some things that makes you wonder. Like I said, I don't remember if it was Tampa or Chicago, but we had one game. It was coming down to the wire. This was, I think, the Marinelli era, might have been. And we threw a pass, completed a big play. The officials, and I was on the sideline, I saw this. They looked up at the replay and then threw the flag. What's up with that? Just makes you think. Just makes you wonder.
Trying to get it right. You
can't do
technology.
That. You can't do that.
You can't do it. They leverage technology. Depends on which team they threw the flag on, right?
Us. On the road.
Well, that's not good.
You know they always do us dirty. Always.
There they go. Here we go. Here we go.
I think I think there's plenty of bias. I do. I don't think it's just for the
100%.
Lions. I do. People are human.
We can go.
Did we have this conversation before, Rad?
Yes, that's what where's Dose? He just left.
The playoff game. When they
going back and looking at NFL game rewind. Looking at kick. He's looking at field goal kicks. He's going back. He's going to get a field goal fix. That's all it is.
The thing that drives me crazy though is there could be something. Okay, sorry.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I think the refs play into it a little bit. I mean, we can go back to the Dallas Cowboys when we were the playoff game when they picked up that flag on that pass interference against Brandon Pettigrew because Dez Bryant comes cussing out the referee. It's like, who is Dez Bryant? Like, bro, you're a professional referee. You don't let no player get in your head. And they didn't pick up the penalty after he announced it. They just don't want Detroit to be great. So I always feel like the refs is against us.
Come on, you can't. You really? You just think that was just coincidence? I mean, come on.
There's certain organizations they want to win.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying the referees don't blow calls. If ands and buts, calls, I think it's,
what was that?
I'm just saying. Listen, we've had this debate. I feel like we're going in this circle, right? Hey, what's up, man? Hey, did he make it?
Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it.
Oh, okay.
It was a journey to find that. By the way, I heard you talk about the kickers. I mean, I may have taken a little pit stop on the way. That's
is that what it was?
Maybe,
okay,
yeah, a little bit.
Hey, you tell Morton Anderson I said what's up. Jason Hanson.
He don't know. He don't know Morton
Anderson. No, and those guys. No, none of those great ones right there.
That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
Okay.
Old football card.
Great guy. You tell that guy something like that.
Ray Guy. You said Ray Guy.
Yeah, Ray Guy, man. The Raiders, man. I'm going way back, man. I'm just trying to check. I'm just testing your history.
I've heard those names before. Absolutely.
Right.
But
hey, listen, man. I
don't watch them. It just I don't know. You watch. You guys like.
I know we're going at it again about this.
Okay.
Go ahead. I for some reason, man, I got caught in that kicker tunnel thing. Go ahead.
Look, here's the thing. I can't kick at all. Let's start there. If we did a kicking competition, it would be terrible. So that's probably why I focus on it so much. Because I realize I'm awful at this. If there was ever a situation where I had to kick a field goal, I mean, it's just, you might as well just hand me the ball and tell me to run. Like that's what's going to happen in that situation. The holder would be better off accidentally dropping the football, and just running with it. That way I don't have to kick the ball. I can blame it on him. Because I'm telling you, I'm terrible. So I think that's why you pay attention to it. Because it's an art, man. How many people can kick the ball?
Here's what I'm going to give you. It is absolutely must-watch TV when the kick returner breaks free and the only person there to stop him is a kicker. That's hilarious, right? Because it puts pressure on the kick returner to not get tackled, but then they got pressure to not just have that whiff. You know what I mean? Like they try to make the tackle, but they're really not going to make it. So that's kind of cool. That's the funny part. Then all of a sudden you see the guy that picks it up.
I'm saying the guy with the ball cannot be tackled by the punter or the kickoff guy. You can't do that. I mean,
Jason was so good at that though, and he was really. Jason Hanson was fantastic, and what was really fun is later in his career when he would talk about how his old self wasn't as good at it and how it would hurt, and he is very entertaining. And so hearing him and his depiction of his tackles was it was good because he played it off real well. Like, yeah, I just did that and just run off like that was no big thing. But then he would give us a play-by-play of what was actually going on in his head and body.
That's why, yeah, I think that's the funniest part. But the referee thing, man, I know that's a sore spot, so I'm not even going to go there with our fan base because, you know.
I mean, the thing is, you could really call a penalty on every single play. So, in some senses, they can just pick and choose a particular spot they want to call a penalty.
Hands to the face. Karen Rogers.
Oof.
Karen Rogers.
Aaron Rodgers. I think we last had this debate on this. We talked about. I think when you get started down to the critical times, yeah, maybe you start to look at it a little bit deeper. Other than that, man, let the guys play. You know, I don't even mind if they remove some of the penalties and just let them go at it a little bit longer, man. I think it makes it more intense. I think you get more into it versus you don't have that cop out when the guy comes back. You throw an interception because the guy came by and he kind of brushed your face mask as a quarterback, and it's a 15-yard flagrant foul. Really? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
That's just, hey, Rad, that's just as bad as them having a missed penalty over here when you just come in. You know that had nothing to do with it. Guy came in and just accidentally bumps into him, and all of a sudden the quarterback turns around and looks like this, and you give a flagrant foul to the defensive lineman. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Let them play.
What is this?
Let them play.
Let's
So maybe Vegas is involved. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I've seen so many times, though. The Dallas game was terrible. They picked the flag up, and it was pass interference. And Calvin Johnson gets the touchdown, and they pull it back. Then the Chicago Bears win.
The thing I hate about that is when they slow it down and it looks different because it's so frame by frame. Whereas if you just look at it, it's like, okay, did he catch it or not? Like, let's just look at it. Did you catch it or not?
I think it was a consensus. Everybody knows that was a catch. That's just.
But I mean, even in general, though, when you're doing those slow-mo, sometimes it's just like, just watch the thing in real time and, like, ask a 5-year-old, did he catch it? You know? Like, it's just kind of an obvious thing.
Obvious.
There you go.
To a degree.
See, Chrissy's the people's champ, folks. She's the subscribers' champ. If you don't like the refs, she's the one to go to right there. I love it because we all hate the refs. Come on, get it right. Just get it right. But you do play to win the game, and I agree with Herm. I think that if they can just remove flags, get less, let them play. That's the fun. That's the fun part when they let the corners play the game and they're going at it each other. That's when it's fun. When it's constantly flags thrown, it's not fun. It sucks. Absolutely.
And we could do the post-game press conference from the coach when there's a bad call that, quote-unquote, decides a game. He just says, you know what, there were plenty of plays that we should have made leading up to that, and that shouldn't have even been a factor. That's the answer that you always get.
I always used to say that when I dropped the pass. Like, man, what about those other 400? What about those other 60 plays, man? You gonna bring it all down to my one play? No, man. What about? Hey. What about? No, that's me. Hey, man. What about that missed block, man? That could have potentially been an 80-yard touchdown if he just held that block. I know I dropped that pass and I was wide open. You know what I mean?
Super chats are coming in like crazy. A $5 super chat to Spirit of Detroit. Thank you so much. Says, by season's end, who will be the consensus number one wide receiver? An even better question, who will be Goff's favorite target throughout the season? Herm, you're the wide receiver. What do you got here?
I know who.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Well, I know. Hey, for another $500,000, our answer is no. Here's a question. No, here you go. So. No, so where I'm going is, it's tough because is it quantity or quality and importance of the play? Like, who was the guy? Who was the dog? Who was the playmaker when we needed plays? Then you got the guy that's got the output. Maybe he's making plays. Maybe he's both. I don't know. So if I had to pick, I'm gonna say TJ.
Oh.
And I'm gonna qualify that too, right? So here's why. I think there's going to be a lot of attention placed in stretching it, getting it down the field. People have forgot about TJ because of the injuries last year. They've forgotten a little bit, that this was a guy that came in the league year one and making an impact. He's going to catch him off guard because he got a new contract. He's got some new, found energy and some deeper pockets. And I think the pressure that comes off of some of that stuff that we don't think plays a play into it is now going to do that. He's going to be making critical third down catches because of the fact that they got to cover more wide receivers, which puts him into a more favorable position between a linebacker or a safety. I just see him being the guy that he turns into what you've seen with a lot of teams, whether it's Kansas City, whether it was back when Minnesota used their tight ends, San Francisco used theirs. I mean, it's like he becomes that critical X factor that can keep your offense booming.
I like that.
Love it.
That's me.
Rad, man.
I hope it's not TJ Hockenson because I don't want him to get paid that big money and be the highest paid tight end because I don't think he's worth it yet. I think it's going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. The kid was coming on super strong towards the last few games of the year. You can see him and Goff's chemistry was just getting stupendous. I think the kid could have had about 1,300 receiving yards if we would have been using him the first 7 weeks of the season. I think they're going to carry over from last season. I think it's going to be St. Brown just because, to touch on your point, they're going to be stretching the field. So the middle is going to be wide open. And why not give it to the guy that you're comfortable with and we know who can make plays, who's actually got us our first victory last season. I think it's going to be St. Brown's going to be the one who's going to be his safety blanket, and I think he's going to have the most receptions. I'm going to go yards too. Not touchdowns, but I think he's going to have the most receptions and yards. St. Brown.
St. Brown.
I agree with Rad, actually.
Oh, Chrisse.
I was going to say, I think it's going to be St. Brown because I think he's
Thank
going to
you,
be
Ryan.
reliable. Yeah,
Thank
I think he's going to be that reliable target. And I think it's going to be, like you said, the safety blanket. So I agree with you.
Huge shout out to Christopher Smith, a $10 super chat. He just wanted to say Detroit versus everybody, including the refs. Herm's got his hands up.
Get the guy with the black polo, please.
Hey, can I just chime in on one thing, and then I'm gonna let it go. So anybody else want to answer? Here's the reason why I didn't say St. Brown. If you're both thinking that, which is going to be the consensus, and most people are going to look at 90 catches, 900 yards, 7-8 touchdowns last year. That's with no one really planning for you. You know what I mean?
Paid attention. Yes.
So now I know they've already planned for TJ before, and he's had success. I know that Jared Goff likes him as a dependable, reliable player when healthy and he's out there on the field. He's somebody he depends on. With Ross St. Brown, I'm not saying he can't. Now I go, you're going blind now. Double coverage. He's being looked at scheme-wise. He's got to stay healthy. He wasn't injured, of course. I think he's one of the most, from a physical specimen, healthy, putting in the work. I would never question that. I've seen the man's work ethic. But it's just a different thing when all of a sudden people know when they look at the stats and they go, oh, that's their number one for now, or the guy we got to watch for. His work's become a lot harder than it was last year.
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's more of a check down.
Check down, but he's talking yards and the touchdowns he got.
I didn't say yards. I didn't say yards.
I
favorite.
say touchdowns. I think he will lead in yards and receptions.
I stand corrected.
But I feel like defenses picked up on him last year. Towards the end of the year, you knew where Goff was going with St. Brown. So I feel like they was trying to scheme to stop St. Brown. He just couldn't be stopped because who else did we have as far as the receivers last year? Like you had to scheme for St. Brown. Then TJ Hockenson went down. So you got to scheme for St. Brown. This year you're gonna have to watch Chark, who runs a 4.3 40, who's 6'4", who can beat you deep. Wait for J-Mo to come back. You're going to have to back them safeties up even more. And plus, we get TJ Hockenson. I think St. Brown is still going to have a huge year. But end of the day, our run game got to just jump off. If we want to win games, we better be able to run the football. Forget all this throwing the football crap. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm off topic. We better establish the run. We better control the line of scrimmage if we want to win football games. So our running backs actually have to have a big year. That's who's on watch this year. This running back.
I agree with that one.
I also took the question as Goff's favorite target.
It was Goff's favorite. We were on topic. It was about who we think is going to be his favorite target this year.
Yeah. And to me, when I look at favorite target, I look at who's the quarterback looking to when they're under duress and they know they can throw it in that direction and it's going to be completed. That's what I'm thinking. So that was my context. And you clearly are like, yeah.
No, you're good on point. But I just, when you ask that question, I then go back to TJ again, because I go, okay, if you're going to go downfield, with DJ Chark, you have the opportunity with the guy's got some speed, he's got some size. I've seen him on film, go up, make some plays. So you got someone that can now impact downfield, make plays when the plays aren't there. But you're just not going to be looking for it that often. That's a percentage play.
Right.
So you're going to go downfield maybe 2-3 times. We don't even know if they'll do that. They got the line to do that. But again, it's going to go back to what we just said. The running game is going to determine whether or not they're even going to take those shots downfield, because you got to pull those safeties down. And the only thing that's going to pull them down and make them abandon that middle of the field or the deep third is your running game or those middle passes. So I see St. Brown. I see your crossing routes. I see a couple of your clear out routes with the underneath coming in. I see running backs out of the backfield. You start to draw that coverage in, and now you try and hit it over the top because you feel the confidence of your line. So I think there's a plan. I think there's a roadmap there that gets them to be in a very productive offense, to giving their defense some opportunity to gain confidence. And if they start clicking and they start being takeaway defense and they start making some losses and stops and good field position for the offense, all of a sudden the Lions sneak up on you. I mean, it could be a team that can sneak up on you, but there's a lot of things that have to line up. I don't think they can just will that right now to happen. They're going to have to earn their way into it.
You guys are off on the favorite target. I can't believe you guys didn't say this. Jared Goff's favorite target is the like button. Let's get those likes up, folks. 75 likes. Hey, Jared Goff will go off if you smash that like button. It's his #1 target, and I'm telling you, it's the truth. It's #facts. Dose, who's his favorite target, man? You can't say the kicker, though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys can't. I feel like
Mark Mosley, man, just straight ahead kick, man.
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna be honest with you, but let me just do this. I don't think y'all can't go wrong with I think the answers you gave. To me, I'm with you guys on both sides. TJ Hawkinson's the red zone guy. I think, and actually, I think H-Man makes a good point. Like, I feel like 3rd and long, man, Hawkinson's super reliable on 3rd down. He doesn't drop many passes. He'll always be on the field. With that, though, St. Brown is like, I look at St. Brown like a Cooper Kupp in terms of it don't matter. Like, he's gonna get open. Like, St. Brown's he's different. I feel like St. Brown's different. He's gonna find a way. And for Goff, what I believe in the scheme side is he'll always be that underneath option. I think he'll always be that guy that has the check down opportunity. But I mean, you guys, like you said, if we're talking receptions, favorite target, at one point Swift was leading the NFL in receptions. You go to Thanksgiving, he's leading the NFL in receptions. He just don't get hurt. I mean, he's probably ending the season as leader in receptions. So I would go with St. Brown. I feel like there's already that connection. But as soon as you get in the red zone, it's immediately TJ Hawkinson.
I know you're going to stop talking about Swift being hurt. You bring that. Get that out your mouth. Hey, everything else. Hey, Dose. Everything else you did, it's good.
But I would
say one of the weirdest things last year that I hadn't experienced watching the Lions in forever was I'm sitting there going, why are they not running the ball? It was weird.
Is that what you said, Phil?
No, I said it to the television out loud. I said it to the television. And I might have said it to you. You weren't listening.
I know. I'm just that guy sitting in the back of the class,
I was like, why are they not running the ball? And then, but you did comment on Swift, though. You did enjoy watching Swift bowl people over. That's how much he really likes Swift.
Campbell,
it was really known that he likes Swift.
Swift
football, man. It's football.
Very nice.
I just like it just seems like things are too fluffy sometimes, man. I like when he used to have the full. I'm coming from the old school, man. The fullback was in the back. We used to see Corey Schlesinger, All Scott, or whatever, man. These guys used to just get in there and it was just nasty. And you see the linebackers trying to take them on, right? When they spread it open like that, like bam, they go in it. Yeah.
Corey, you get blood dripping down.
And we used to sit back in film room and you see just that smash mouth, and you see the linebacker start cringing and up in the. side sometimes, or they just come in there like dogs, take on that running back, blow the fullback up, bear everybody up. They're just mad at the world. Like pregame meal was bad or something. It was just crazy. You know, but now it's just like, you know, it's like it's the fluff. It's like, hey, let me see how cool you're out in the stand and make a guy miss out in the corner, you know, whatever. And then it's just run out of bounds.
Football,
you know?
Football is soft.
No crack back. You can't. The guy that blew you up in the middle, you can't circle back around like this and take that safety out on the next time.
No,
Where,
they may kick you out the game if you do something like that. Football's gotten soft. I still love the game.
Game
but
check.
It's softer.
That's a game check. That's a suspension. That's anger management classes. It's all kind of stuff.
I once interviewed a linebacker who told me that he would just punch walls for practice.
Ooh.
It's like Goldberg hitting his head on a.
And linebackers.
Yeah, was it?
Nice guy.
Great
I want to
story.
know who it was.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah. Who?
Gotta say it now.
No, who was it? Oh, it was Paris Lennon.
Ah.
Raise your hand
Paris
if you remember
Lennon.
Paris Lennon.
For sure.
Hey, thank you, Mike.
That was my guy.
Yeah, Paris was really cool. But yeah, I remember he was a big boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do MMA afterwards?
I don't know, but he was a boxer, and I just remember when he said, "Yeah, like I punch walls." I was like, "Dang." Whatever.
Hey, that's great.
Hey, y'all see that show? I'm sorry, Mike. I don't mean to cut you off. I saw a show today, man. I don't know what it was on MTV. I guess it's an old show where they like knock on the bully's door's house and then they fight. I saw that today. I've never heard of that before, but that reminded me of it. So I thought I would just throw that out.
See, we wouldn't have had that comment if I hadn't have brought that up.
Knocks on a bully's door and then they fight.
Yeah, it was called it was called Bully.
Hey, I'm from a place called Cardinal Village. I guarantee you, they would have came knocking on my door.
Hey, they brought him into a ring. They had a UFC fighter. I was like, this is a show. Hey,
It'd have been whole neighborhood. Come on, man.
You don't just show up at somebody door.
Y'all never heard of that?
Come knock on the door.
Man, y'all need to
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. What Dose at, Mike? I heard he was talking about my kicker, Mike. Where he at? Where he at? Hey, come see me, son. Come on out here. I got something for you. Hey, Dose, so that's the last word. That's the last time I'm going to say anything about kickers. I'm going to leave it alone.
He's so
It's just hilarious, man.
He won't leave it alone.
I will. I was a kicker. We the same, man. Me and you.
You were a kicker?
I was.
So
48 yards in high school.
really? So you
That's
could have
it.
kicked the extra
Boom.
point then. That's it.
Yeah, I used to kick extra points. I didn't make many, but I used to kick them.
Were you the fourth string kicker, fifth string kicker? Were you the emergency?
It was so bad, I was the starting kicker.
Who was the emergency kicker on your pro team?
Me.
You were the emergency
Even
kicker.
if I was injured. Hey, well, kick with your left foot. It's like, you know, it didn't matter.
That's awesome.
I'm just telling you, that's how bad it was. It's like, man, it's like the kid, hey, come on over here. We need one more guy to make our roster for. Come on.
Hey, I
That's
think that's a good way to wrap it up right there. Kickers and Herman Moore. Folks, we've been on for an hour, and I know the NBA draft is kicking off, and I know a lot of people are jumping in right there to watch some b-ball. So we're going to go ahead and close this bad boy out. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Herm. Let him do something with that imaginary basketball.
With the
Here, see
finger
if we can do this.
roll.
Ready? Wait a minute. Okay.
Hey, you know I had to go old school. Hey, I had to go George Gervin.
Here, hold on. I can.
Did anybody
Herm, I
catch
can-
the finger roll?
Yeah, I can chest pass you. Ready?
Your chest pass.
You missed. I can hit you in the face.
That's all right.
All right, ready?
He just ate that.
Oh, there it is. I ain't giving it back. I ain't giving it back.
Get the rebound.
Don't pass it back. Oh. Hey, I'm building me a house. Oh, all that. Look at that brick and mortar.
Yeah,
Here it is.
Get your offensive rebound.
I ain't doing the rebounds, man. They don't pay me for the rebounds. They just pay me to miss.
Oh,
Man.
God.
I miss even if.
But this is good stuff, man. You know what? It's always great conversation. We always appreciate everybody who comes out and hangs out and has some great conversations. We have fun here on the station. We have fun on the channel. We have fun with all of you who can't be here without all of our content contributors. And for those of you, wait a minute, hold on. Boom, I hit the like button. Somebody else hit the like button with me. You like that?
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
Okay.
damn. There it is.
That's how you do it.
I'm learning. I'm learning. You know, hey, you notice I never put it in my left, right?
Yeah, you are. Learning fast. Learning real fast. Hey, I love it. Hey, Chrissy, got anything to say? Shut this thing down? Shut her down.
Oh my
for us.
goodness. I don't have anything to shut it down. I don't got anything. I don't got anything.
Got nothing.
I mean, thank you everybody for joining. I will say, check out the memberships. We got some cool emojis, and the more people we get in the memberships, we can add to our emojis, and we have a ton of them, and they're really fun. I don't know if you're an emoji type people, but it's awesome. So we're really enjoying seeing the channel grow, and we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So
What's that
check out our
tier
merch
for membership? That's a cool perk they have there.
I ought to talk to Herm there for an hour. Private live stream, right? You gonna answer some questions?
I'm gonna show you some of I'm gonna break out some of my game film. I'm gonna break out some of my practice tape you've never seen, so you can see me do a little one-on-one. I can break it down and show you how I got hemmed up in practice sometimes. It's all that good stuff.
You won't be disappointed.
Exclusive. You won't be disappointed.
You won't be disappointed with the Herman Moore tier.
There probably no.
All the way, we just have fun with it. It's an appreciation. This has been awesome. Getting to know everyone. As you can see, we've become quite the bunch. And yeah, we love bringing you just this fun content. Can't do it again without, we got Rad, we got Dose, we got MicroMike, we got Little Homie, and you got the H-Man here on LNU. Hanging out, getting it done.
Adios. Peace.
Hail to the kickers.
Arrivederci. Peace. Adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it.